overall, recently, as of this week, shoot, screw that was terrible. Recently, I did some research, very deep research on the human species, mankind. There was the Homo sapiens, the Homo erectus, the Homo neanderthals, as I was taught. But there were many differences that I could see very notably. There were so many differences with this and this and this and this, and they were so drastic, so significant. I got a bit concerned. Because I don't want all these problems to be inflicted on me. So, firstly, let's talk about the Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, and Homo neanderthals. Now, the Homo neanderthals and that was one of the early human species, were more bulkier, more muscular, and they were adapted to the colder weather. As of compared to the Homo sapiens, the Homo erectus. And as for the Homo sapiens, which is evolved from walking on literally 4 hands. Well, not really 4 hands, but basically walking that of a gorilla, to now standing upright, which was a very long process, but it was very difficult as well. Very difficult. Now, with the early human species, they had significantly more bone structure, more bone density. Basically, they had way more intelligence, because they had to go out in the wild, find random stuff and make it into a weapon, a spear, to hunt for an animal so they could kill it. By far. But now, because of phones, technology, devices, the internet, a network, there isn't really a need for doing this type of stuff, which is one of something that the modern sapien is doing. Another thing I noticed, which was honestly not even shocking, but it might sound shocking to a lot of people, it was the fact about how from all the early human species, all of them, Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, Homo neanderthals, there's way more out of all of these early human species. The Homo sapiens being this generation which we don't even realize how much this degenerate rappers, degenerate music and stuff like this affects us. Yet during maybe 5,000, 10,000 years ago, where society was actually a decent place, this stuff would not be happening. Stuff would not be happening. Like, seriously. The amount of politicians and this and this and this and this and this. And the world is in a constant flux. The early human species had so much of an understanding over our world. For a while, it turned into degenerate stuff. It literally turned into degeneration. People wasting their life force into tissues. People drowning or suffocating themselves. Like, seriously, this is serious. I'm not trying to make a joke. People waste their time, their life, hanging around with friends who actually hate them. Literally, behind their back, they'll be saying, oh, but that guy's so terrible, that guy's so trash. And they'll smack talk him, literally, behind his back. But it's because in the West, so many people have been adopting to talk all this crap without actually getting their face punched in. Like, seriously, this is what it's come to after all of these millions and millions and millions of years of evolution. Which, to me, sounds very depressing. Very depressing and very disappointing. I'm just thinking to myself, of course I feel ashamed. Of course I feel ashamed. That after all this hard effort of surviving world wars, plagues, invaders, everything of that sort, it's all just come down to this. So I'm assuming you're not like the rest of the people who've gone already. Now, I'm not here to waste your time. So seriously, if you want to go, get off. But basically, when it comes to the early human species in this generation has literally declined very, very, very rapidly, and it's deteriorating rapidly at the moment as I speak. Literally. Like, there's so much degenerate music, so much degenerate rappers, so much of all this stuff just going around, throwing around. And I see it all the time. All the time when people are blaring music into their ears. But if they check the lyrics of what they're really listening to, they would actually see what type of message is being implanted in their cerebral cortex, which has been developing for a while. But the thing is, even when they look at the lyrics, they don't even care because, like, oh, but this, oh, I don't even really care what this rapper and this guy says. Like, seriously, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. Get rid of the music. Get rid of the degenerate music. You need to stay away from the degenerate music. Because you are literally, essentially, letting your brain being influenced by whatever words that are flying on that song, which is not a smart idea. Not to mention the fact with this generation especially, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but this generation might be our last. But there's a hope. There's a hope. With more and more and more people turning towards religion and religion and religion and returning to the olden ways, the caveman ways, things are becoming a lot better. But there are things getting a lot worse. But overall, there's still a chance. There's still a chance. And your early human ancestors or early ancestors of any sort are literally looking down from you, looking down upon you, wondering what you've been doing all this time, just scratching your chin and what. They're wondering what you've been doing this entire time. Don't waste it. You have like what, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130 years on planet Earth. And the fact that your early human ancestors are looking down upon you, make them proud. Show them why they survived all that time. All that time of suffering for you to exist. Was it to be mediocre and waste all their years, decades, centuries, thousands, millions, billions of years? Or was it to cause a revolution? Make them proud. Spark the fire within you and get you going. There's a quote which you should probably be thinking about more and more and more often, which is basically having a fire on your butt, basically, because if you have a fire chasing you, you're not going to be trying to just slowly walk. You're just going to be trying to sprint, run. That's the type of mentality you have to have. Because at any moment, you could die. And that's just a fact. So live your life to the fullest. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Other than that, welcome to the Brotherhood.